You're listening to Bridges Radio Program. This is a show about the creative industries, artists of all mediums, and other professionals who make the art we all enjoy. Bridges is produced at Citadel House Studios in Lewisport, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is a collaborative project between Carolyn R. Parsons and Citadel House. This program can be found on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, and in podcast at SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, as well as many other podcast hosting programs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bridges Radio. It is February 22nd.
It's March 22nd.
Oh, my God. And you know what? I wrote down February, too. Thanks, Bonnie. See, this is why we have co-hosts. Because, time. I'm not good with timey-wimey stuff.
Well, it's flying by too fast to keep track of.
I must have been doing something big on February 22nd. I'm glad it's March 22nd because it's like spring now. And
yeah. It's been kind of warm.
Yeah. You could tell. Like it started about a week. It started to go into the pluses a little bit. And, and it's been sunny almost every day. So it's been March 22nd, 2019. And it's spring. And we are here today with a special guest in the studio, Candi King, who is a visual artist. Hello, Candi.
Hi.
Hi. And we'll be talking to Candi in a little bit about her work. But first, we have some things going on, right, Bonnie?
Yeah.
And so what do we have? What's happening?
What's happening?
Well, what's new? What did you do this week? Anything exciting?
This week, I have been promoting and getting paperwork already for Christian House's cross-country tour, which we just released the whole schedule for.
You hinted about that on the last show because you said it would be announced like that day or the next day or something.
Yeah.
And so then I immediately started stalking Christian's Facebook page, and it is so impressive. So
thank you.
Christian is a Citadel House recording artist.
Yeah, he's been on the show, actually.
Yes, and he's been on the show, and actually... So we want to be connected to this guy because he's doing big things. So the intro music that you hear at the beginning of our episodes and in between, that's Christian's music. Mm-hmm. So we have, we're really rooting for him. And he's got this huge tour. It's like 2 pages of dates. Like I was blown away.
So he's heading... He's kind of got it split into a couple sections. The first one is about a week and a half before the ECMAs, and including the ECMAs in Charlottetown. We'll be doing a bit of East Coast traversing around, and then he gets on the Via Rail train as their artist on board for just under a week. So he'll be entertaining all the passengers on the train every day, and at train stations, like when they stop, he'll be performing little sets at the station. And all the way to Vancouver, and then he'll be performing his way back. His parents are buying a car and meeting him in Vancouver and driving it back home with him.
It's nice to have support from your parents, isn't it?
Yes, he's got a good support crew.
So the Via Rail artist on board, that's something they do, right? Like they have different every year, I guess, or
almost year round all the time. You have to apply for it, and you kind of pick the dates that you'd like. And they'll make sure it works, not have any conflicts. And they have several different areas you could do. So you could do just between Montreal and Toronto. Right. You could do just between Edmonton and Vancouver. You kind of pick where and when you want to do your route. And they give you, room and board, a cabin, and food for free. And you perform.
I think it's great, and especially for new artists and get across the country. I've not gone across the country on train, but I have gone from here. Well, not here because there's no train on the island of Newfoundland, but from Cape Breton to Toronto.
I'd like to do it a lot,
and it was beautiful. Yeah. And I'd love to go right across on the train.
I'd love to see the mountains.
Yeah,
by the train.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, so I probably would close my eyes there, but. But it would be fun. It would be nice. And people who've done it say it's an absolutely fantastic way to see the country because you're just sort of sitting back. And for him, he gets to make his music. Now, did he mention that on the show? Because when we interviewed him, I knew that he was doing the Via, but I can't remember if he kind of told us off air, maybe.
I think he may have mentioned it in the show that
that piece
that piece of information. He didn't mention the rest of the tour because it was not as confirmed as it is now. And there's still dates there that we're trying to fill and boister up and stuff. But I don't know
so
if
he's
I'm
on a
using
national
templates
tour, basically.
Yeah, cross country. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. And he's great. I love his music. He's one of those artists you put your use your Spotify on shuffle, and then Christian song comes and you stop for a second and go, oh, that's so good. He does. He stands out, and he's got something special. And he's still really, really young. First year of money.
19.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he's up and comer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to catch him anywhere on his tour, you can check christianhouse.com/shows or check his Facebook. The whole listing is there. He's playing a couple times in Newfoundland from St. John's and in Corner Brook, in Looseport, and in Brookfield, which is near Glover. It's in between like Glovertown and Musgrave
Brookfield
Harbor.
is sort of like near Wesleyville, Badgers Key, that area. I think.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you exactly, but
I think Brookfield is about 4 houses, so it's kind of hard to
it's
find that one on the map.
Spot, yeah.
Yeah. He's playing a couple
but they
places
have a hospital in Brookfield.
Do they?
I'm fairly certain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that also
They used
where
to
the
make
Brookfield
ice cream.
Yeah. There you go.
That was good ice cream.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's Christian. And you know what? We should have him back after the tour.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love to hear his stories.
Yeah, because then he'd have some stuff to tell us.
Yeah.
And maybe, and he's got an album too. So he's touring with that album, right?
Yeah,
so
in support of Letters, which is coming out the day before we start driving across the island.
All right.
Yeah.
So
that'd be fun.
Good. I hope I will be definitely. He'll be coming here to the house, so I'll see him here.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
And then next week we also have Cassidy releasing her project, so we've been going ham for promoting that and getting all her merchandise ready and her show prepared.
Cassidy Rich, local girl. She's gonna go big, I think.
She was on.
She's fantastic.
What's it called? East Coast Music Hour.
Yeah,
just last weekend.
Yeah. So, do they have a clip of that anywhere? I wonder.
I'm not sure. We're gonna have to
because I knew
find
it was coming, but I was busy and I couldn't stop and listen. So I really want to hear her.
I want to see.
I just want to hear it on the radio.
Yeah,
it feels different. But she's got a good future ahead of her too. So there's a couple of Citadel House young people, up and comers. I love it,
and I'm sure I'll be keeping you posted because it's what I do.
It's what you do. Yeah, Bonnie, what do you do exactly? Do we ever talk about what you do exactly for Citadel House? And what
I'm not
your
sure.
role is?
You're
a music industry professional.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go.
I do a lot of artist management, representation, and booking right now, and it kind of changes depending on what the need is. But
yeah, and you do like some marketing and promotions, stuff like that. Yeah.
And
so you take care of the artists. You manage them.
The back door, a lot of the backdoor stuff.
Yeah.
The paperwork that
all has to be done.
I love paperwork, so
I don't mind.
I'm a big fan of lists and organizing. This arranging of the tours is so rewarding because I'm just like, yes.
Yeah,
I love to see.
You like
my
spreadsheets?
lists. Oh yeah,
yeah.
My boyfriend asked me if I wanted to help make a budget.
if this was television, her eyes would have popped off the screen. You would have been like, oh. Yeah, I like them too. They're very, very useful tools. And I get when people send me spreadsheets and they're well done, I'm like, oh, everything's organized.
Spreadsheets and budgets. I'm a huge fan of budgets. Actually, which is kind of silly.
You can't go by my notes
Nerdy.
for the interview. As to my love of spreadsheets, because my notes very, very messy.
Well, have you heard of bullet journaling?
Yes.
Okay, so that's something that I love to do. It's like a personal thing. So it's a cross between journaling and doodling and kind of spreadsheets. Yeah. Calendar. You could just create it out of nothing.
As a writer, I journal.
Yeah.
So, that'd be just like more time.
Yeah. I just like creating the spreadsheets and then I never end up actually filling them out, but it's fun.
I'm just a Google Calendar-aholic. Everything goes in there. Looks like I have tons of stuff to do, but after time it's just little things that I have to do that day. Not even going to take much time, but they're in the calendar. So anyway, there's a couple other things around the community, or the region, I should say. The 24th at 3 p.m. at St. Martin's Hall, the Beyond Youth Theater group, Beyond the Overpass, will be performing their four performances, 4 different groups. They divided into groups, and they each created from scratch everything and created a 20-minute to half an hour production. And they'll be performing them for the general public.
Wow.
On the 24th at 3 at St. Martin's Hall in Gander. So they have done everything, and I mean everything from budgeting to props to writing it, blocking, everything that goes into a production, more than I know. And they even did like a documentary of the making of and things like that. That was all part of the course. It was a production course that they do. And so they get to show their 30-minute plays that they've created. And from what I've seen, it's going to be some spectacular, these kids, I mean, they're just, heavy topics. Like, it's not,
What are some of the topics?
Well, they will address social issues. So there could be, I don't know 100% because they won't, they keep it. But I know like drinking and driving or drugs or, sexual identity crisis issues or things like that, like really heavy racism, the heavy topics like, teen pregnancy or, things that are relevant to them or relevant in society today that they, and, really give kudos to Jamie Harding and Leslie Hewlett for letting them just do, these kinds of deeper messages, and because it's
allowing them to
explore that and help them to, because in exploring it, I think too, it's probably relevant in some of their lives, and so they actually get to explore it, dramatically, but also deal with it at the same time. So, and they're very mature, like they've all done all the work, and it just seems to go really well. They're learning all the teamwork and collaboration, and then they finish that, and then the next Sunday they start working on Midsummer Night's Dream, which I think is usually ambitious for a bunch of kids, but the talent's all there. And so Shakespeare, I mean, some of these kids, like Martina's 13, she hasn't read, they're not doing it in school yet. So and she's playing Puck. So she's got two roles. They're sharing a role, her and another kid, and so she'll do it one night, and the other kid will do it another show. And they just will be performing that, and that'll be in June, early June. And that'll probably be at the theater in the Quality Hotel. And again, I mean, well, you saw Peter and the Starcatcher, so it'll be at that caliber.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, that was great. And then I wanted to mention the Avion Players, who are not the Avalon Players. The Avion Players are producing a show right now, theater. It's called The Donnellys. Nick Mercer has been on the show, and he mentioned it briefly, and this is the production, I should say, that they will present at the Provincial Drama Festival, which is in its 70th year this year. Yes. And I think the Avion Players have been around 66 years, and they've not missed a Provincial Drama Festival. So they'll be presenting that, and that's going to be performed in Gander at the Arts and Culture Centre on April 2nd and 3rd.
Awesome.
And I'm going to try to get into that because I think that'll be a good show. It's a little darker, I think, more serious than, because they're known for their comedy as well. So I think this will be a little bit more, and they do well at the festival. Like, they've won awards, and so they're not, they have to be. After all these years, they have some
66
expertise.
Years,
yeah. So they have, but for community theater, it's better than community theater, though. It bridges that gap between community and professional. Like, it's right there, So I think it's worth your trip to Gander.
Yeah.
So, worse things to be doing than sitting in a seat watching live theater. I love live theater. All right. So I think that's about it. Do you have anything else that's going on? I think
I'm not sure.
There's probably more stuff. If you have stuff out there and you want us to talk about it or you want to be on the show, let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
We are always looking for the artists of any medium. And speaking of mediums, we don't have a psychic. No, we have an artist, a visual artist here with us today. Candi King, welcome. Candi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I can't even sort of recall when I became aware of your work. I know I saw some of